what a great meme we are. What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 10 of the Two Bots One
Ooh.
Game podcast. Double digits is big fun. And we're excited to be back here with the people having another podcast. It's a late one tonight, but Popey and I are throwing it down. Um, do you have a little phenomenal day today and study up on all your podcast material, or are you just winging it here tonight?
Nah. I just I was looking at the EU league, and Carmine Corp is so bad. I know everyone knows this, but they beat
I
Koi.
know.
And I was like, what the heck?
That's so on par for what they're going to be doing. Is they are talented enough to beat some good teams, but they shouldn't win a single game.
They freaking beat Koi.
Yeah,
Like,
I just don't know what the deal is. Well,
sorry.
I'm down to
Random.
jump into it because, kind of unironically, this is episode Tenz with a Z. One, because
Tenz.
we're nice and it's episode 10. And one is because, number two is because Mr. Tyson Tenz has been benched effective for the rest of the season and is being replaced with Marved. Today we got the tweet from Sentinels coming out where their new coach, Sen Kaplan, announced that Marv would be taking Ten's spot for the rest of the
They don't
split.
they don't have to do this. I'm kind of annoyed that they have to like make this a whole show every time. It's like just write it out in a tweet.
Anybody, but all right, if it was anyone besides Ten's, it's a tweet. But it is the poster child of Valorant.
Bro,
You
Tenz
have
is
to
like
appeal to people's hearts.
Tenz literally isn't like that. I actually love Tenz, but the thing is, like, it's obvious that that was gonna happen. Like, and they don't have to make a video. They can just be like, Tenz is having a rough time right now, and he's sitting out for. There's only like 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that big of a deal. It's like he's got to sit out 3 weeks. Okay.
So he does have a lot going on. And the question that I'll kind of start us off with is Tenz the issue? Obviously, we get to see Marv come in during the Super Week in the VCT Americas. They play loud, pretty close. They play them pretty well. Then they come in and play MIBR and 2-0 them. So a different level of performance than what we've been seeing for the majority of this first split from Sentinels with Marved in and Tyson out. Is that because Tenz is the issue? Is it because Marved is just that good? Is it maybe even a coaching thing? Because that coaching change is pretty recently as well. What are your thoughts on why we saw such a big switch up this last week?
It is not a coaching issue. I love Psycho. 100% not a coaching issue. Whatever his name is, what is it, Kaplan? He got lucky by the timing. 100%. Tenz is an issue. I'm not gonna say the issue because that's like 100% blame. But I'd say Tenz is majority blame because Tenz, and I want to preface this as I actually love Tenz. I'm just being realistic.
You heckin' love Tenz.
I root for Tenz every single time he plays. I never root against Tenz. I'm just, as a fan of Tenz, I've seen this. And this is all the way back to when he was in CSGO. This is why he got cut off of his CSGO team, or dropped. Well, no, benched. He never, like, really shows up in the big moments. Like, when he's needed the most, 1v1 clutch, he fails. I'm telling you, every single time. It's like He can't handle the pressure in that moment. I've seen Ye, I've seen Artis, I've seen all these Jet duelists, Chamber duelists, people like those type of builds. I've seen them come up so clutch. Tenz never does that. He he gets his like weird flicky like entry kills and like has like some crazy pop off game, but it's like never super useful to the team really, except for like a few times. But I think Tenz is a big issue because he has a super big lack in his agent pool diversity. He can literally only play Jet and Reyna and maybe KO, but not really. So it's like, okay, how are we supposed to work with this guy? Zekin is a solid duelist. Okay, I don't think that. I know we talked about this the other day. He's obviously proved that he's solid at Sova and Sky as a flex. But also, I've seen him play Neon. He's solid at Neon. He's solid at Jet. He's solid at Raze. What are the other duelists? Yaru,
You're Reyna
Reyna,
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Those ones aren't even used at all. So he's good at the 3 used duelists. He's solid at 2 initiators. It's like that agent pool for a duelist flex guy is super useful. And then you bring in Marved, who is Mr. Ice, clutch. Never like literally I was watching this entire game. He won every single 1v1. I was like, yo, this guy is really Mr. Ice. Iceman.
Yeah, they
He hits
do.
everything.
They do have some clutch potential because that week, Def won like 3 clutches in one half on Fracture. Saucy and Pancata are a clutch duo. Like you got massive clutch potential in that squad when bringing Marv in.
Yeah, so when you remove Tenz, the guy who has the bad agent pool who doesn't come up in the clutch, and then you give Zekin the room to be the duelist that he is, and then you give Marv Clutch God the room to be Clutch God, and the whole team like now makes more sense. There's not this weird feeling of like 2 duelists. One of the duelists has to be forced to play a weirder agent, and then like Death is like expected to be clutch, and Pancata and Saucy are like pushed onto things that are uncomfortable. Now it's Zekin's on exactly what he wants to be on. Marv is exactly what he wants to be on. Saucy's exactly what he wants to be on. Def's exactly what he wants to be on. And Pancata's moved, but Pancata's clutch.
Yeah.
So it's like whole team just is like this now.
Yeah. I don't agree in the fact that he is the issue. I think that people probably have unrealistic expectations of him because whenever he went through Masters Reykjavik and the Sentinel squad was cooking everyone, he was the best player in the world. He was the best player in the world by far. Highest ACS ever at a tournament, most kills at a tournament, unbelievable kind of stats. Okay. That was what, a year and a half ago at this point?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
May 2021.
We are a long, long way removed from that tens. Plus, you add on his fiance has cancer. He has COVID. He's got a hand infection.
Yeah, he like broke his wrist or something. He's always got some weird injury.
Yeah, you don't like the guy's got so much going on that I hate to call him the issue because through the Sentinels change from last year to this year, and I was listening to the podcast with Don Psycho whenever he was still the coach. They were talking about how getting Tenz off that roster was considered. And Tyson came up to him and was like, Coach, I'm gonna put in the work. I still have the drive. Don't count me out. Um sorry, I just got thrown off. Don't count me out. And
Hey, they're right.
I know. Um they kept him on for that reason, right? They wanted to keep him involved, keep him there because they thought he could add value. I think he can compete at a very high level in a pro league. Is he the best? No. He's not the best anymore, and I don't think you can argue that. Is he still an option? I think he is, but I don't even know if he's one of the best on his team. Is he going to be the best opper? Yeah, that's probably true. Like he out of the guys on the 5 that are starting the team right now, Tenz is probably going to op better than anybody else. So you're losing that. Um for the issue that Sentinels is trying to solve, it might be better for Tenz to take that back seat, but I don't see a world in him being gone forever being an overall positive for Sentinels. There might be times where they need a more aggressive comp and somebody else has to take a step out. But I think the best part about this is Marv is so freaking good. Best 6-man out
So
there right now.
clutch.
That was
So
an absolute
clutch.
steal of a play
Yeah.
from Sentinels to try and cop. So I hate to say that he's an issue given everything that he has going for him. Because
Yeah,
I
I didn't
just
say he's the issue.
yeah,
I said
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
an issue. He's the biggest issue, but he's not like the only issue.
Yeah, I get you.
I still think they should replace Def. I mean, that man is like 52, dude.
What did you see
What is he doing?
the tweet that they put out today? It says drop Duff as the dumbest person you know.
I mean, Def is good, but
He
it's
played really
like
well.
there's got to be someone better than Def, dude.
Yeah. And everyone
I'm
says let Saucy IGL until Saucy actually gets the chance to IGL, and then they'll say something else is the reason. And
not saying that. It's just like I don't know.
no, I get you.
His clutch is like a 1v1. Like that's the best clip they can find.
Yeah, well, they found there's 3. It's like 3 1Ks. It's like 3 def 1Ks that are clutches. That one was a rifle versus a classic.
like like these aren't clips. He's not like I saw him whiff so many shots in the game. I don't know. I I think he's probably solid at IGLing. He's probably like has a really big brain.
Yeah,
Probably really good for the team. Like the other players, he enables the other players. But if you could
correct.
find someone who enables and is still solid,
Yeah,
that would be better.
yeah. See, top comment: are we posting 1Ks now?
That's exactly but that was literally my first thought. Like I'm like, okay, he killed one guy.
Yeah, there's a
Like Marv did that like every other round.
yeah. There are a bunch of quote tweets where people were talking about how this is going to be really bad timing whenever they do cut Def, and there's this video of him living out there on Twitter.
The
It's
1Ks.
gonna be tough. Um, we can jump to NA challengers real quick before the last little fun thing that we have. Nothing crazy to talk about and cover, but disguised. So they cut Exalt. People were like, "Why in the world would they cut Exalt?" Then Exalt didn't sign anywhere. Then they bring on Yay. Then they cut Steel and don't announce someone to come back for him. Well, they brought Exalt back, and he announced he was back probably not 15 minutes before the game tonight. Pulled a FaZe Clan, announced the roster at the last minute. Um, and Disguise get a win over Shopify Rebellion tonight. So Yay performed, Exalt performed. Um, do you think the new Disguised squad has a chance at being solid in Split 2?
I mean, Steel's like another guy that's like exactly like Duff. He's got a big brain, but he's like a boomer. So I think that's probably good for the team. I don't know who's IGLing now. I hope Ye isn't IGLing
I
because
hope
Ye
not.
was IGLing on C9 and that was probably
At
the
the Red Bull.
stupidest thing I've ever heard. Um, yeah, I mean, I think Exalt's really solid. Clear's really solid.
Oh, shit.
Gangsta's really solid. I don't know about Nerve,
I forgot
but
they.
yeah, they should
I didn't realize they were
should be
still
fine.
playing.
I saw Ye 20 bombed on both games, so yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if Ye's playing like how he should, because that's something we should talk about, dude. He whiffed so many op
Oh, he was
shots.
not playing great.
Dude, I watched that whole game. I am not kidding. He whiffed 7 op shots in a row. I was like, why is he still buying the op? Like, is it like pride? Is it like does he just have like an unbreakable like heart that he's just never gonna be? Because like if that's me, after I whiffed the second op shot, I'm like, I'm not the guy anymore.
Dropping
Like
that thing.
I'm not gonna hit it. He just kept buying and kept
Yeah.
buying and kept buying it. And even like he never really turned up. Like, but then he comes out this week. I don't know. I would be destroyed after that. But he comes out and gets 220 bombs in a row. So I guess I don't know. He can just bounce back.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
He's that guy. Well, it'll be interesting to see. I think they'll be better. I mean, their group still got TSM and M80 in it, so
Yeah, that's rough.
kind of sucks for them.
Wait, who did they lose to? First week? Did they lose to MAD first week?
They lost to Oxygen.
Oh, rip. Yeah.
2-0.
They got pain coming.
Yeah, they've not even played TSM or M80. Yeah, look at their last 5 games. M80 TSM, M80 TSM, Oxygen.
Yeah.
That's pretty tragic. All right. Now for the for fun part of what we're trying to do with this stream. We were trying to think of another thing that would be fun to talk about, fun to chat about, fun to go through. And we decided that tier list of the maps could be a fun thing to throw on there and have a little discussion about. Kind of with perfect timing. Icebox just rotated out, Bind just rotated in. Um Pretty interesting. The team that we have, Disciples, scrimmed Bind for the first time tonight, and I think they got smacked. So, be interesting to see if that affects how I rank Bind here tonight. I know personally, I have some favorite maps. I guarantee they probably don't align with what Popey thinks. So maybe we start walking through this just alphabetically, and we can have some dialogue on the maps.
Yeah.
I guarantee you this gets disagreed with. There's no way this doesn't get disagreed with.
Yeah. Is there a way we could do like a side by side?
Like 2 at the same time.
Yeah, like your side, my side.
Let me see if we could do this.
Yeah.
A little side by side.
Yeah, and then we can see the difference at the end.
Okay. No way it's like offset.
Am I left or right?
I'll give you left.
Nice. Okay, do you want to just go alphabetical?
Sure. Ascent. Where you sit in Ascent?
All the community is gonna say S. So let me be weird. F. No, I'm just kidding. I like Ascent a lot.
Yeah.
I love Ascent. But is it the perfect map? I don't know. It feels kind of annoying at times. Maybe it's just my rank. I'm gonna say A, just to make the haters mad.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. Just to make this part quick, I think it's A tier as well. Partially because I think there's one way to play the map.
The B site is so annoying to me.
You have like one comp that you run, and then you can
Yeah,
switch out
that's actually
Sova and
true.
Fade and Astra and Omen. Like it's
That's
not.
actually true.
It's a good map because it's like super disciplined. You have options, but there's a way to play it. That's why I don't think it's an S tier map for me. I think it's still an A tier map. It's a really good map.
That's a good point. S tier map can't have such a rigid team comp.
Yeah.
That's my new rule.
That's your new rule. Let's skip Bind for now since that one just came back into the pool. Let's go to
Okay.
Breeze. And what we're going to say is as of 6.08 patch, like this newest patch, how the map was last played. So I think that was with like the lowered B site, the half wall on the back.
Wait, so Breeze is coming in with changes.
Well, I'm saying it just had changes. You know how it,
But we're thinking about what it used to be.
Yeah, what it was just most recently.
Okay. I don't mind Breeze. I actually kind of like Breeze, but that's because for the majority of my Valorant career, I've been a Vandal player, and
Yeah.
I have a really high headshot percentage because I tap. That isn't a flex. Like it's not like
Yeah,
I get it.
it is.
Like it's actually a bad thing. Like
Most definitely.
my headshot percentage is too high because I just try to hit heads too much. Um, but Breeze is good for me because it's long range, so
Okay.
the Vandal works out well.
So
So I'm gonna go B.
B tier.
B for Breeze.
B for Breeze. I am going to give Breeze F tier because
Phantom
as a
player.
Phantom user and as someone who has a very low headshot percentage,
Sprayer.
Breeze is not my friend.
Breeze is not a breeze for
I
you.
also think that with the same concept of what we said on Ascent, there is one way to
That
play
is true.
Breeze.
Viper sucks.
You
Viper
exec out of caves with a Viper the exact same way every time.
so.
And
Hey, but Harbor wasn't a thing back then.
Harbor
So
wasn't.
Harbor here now, that'll change.
It'd be interesting. But yeah, I just for how basic the way you play it is, and it's just an aim map. It's just wide open who has better aim. And I don't think that map really pushes anybody to play better. So
Gecko though, now that I think about it, Gecko this isn't like making it ranked higher, but interesting is Gecko's flash has no sight or no max range. So even though you probably won't flash people, if you just throw it straight up, it can see like everything, and they can just
yeah,
give
that
you
is true.
info. That's just something I'm thinking about. Like Harbor and Gecko might be lit on
Yeah,
Breeze.
they definitely could be better. Okay, that's food for thought. Fracture.
Hmm. You go
You may go
first.
first. I was about to offer to go first. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you go
give it
first.
B tier, and I don't like this map. It's one of the maps that I'm least excited to see pop up on my screen whenever I load into a game. But I think it's because I haven't put in the work to fully understand how I'm going to play it. And I recognize that Fracture is a much better map if you play in an organized environment where like you can like truly think through how do I want to play this map. I think the four orbs open up tons of possibilities. I think it pushes you more than any other map to be aggressive on defense and to take space and to give yourself information by limiting opportunities that the attacking side has to come down. But it's very weird. It's very um I don't know, the game just never feels clean whenever you're playing Fracture, especially in a comp setting. I feel like, in a team
I
environment,
agree.
maybe it's going to feel a little bit better, but I just
Yeah.
it never feels great to me to queue into a game of Fracture on comp where people are going to be running weird agents that don't make a whole lot of sense and you're not
Insta
really
Jet
coordinating
Reyna.
anything. Yeah.
No, I agree. I'm gonna put it C now that I think of it. It is really annoying in comp because as old as it's or like as long as it's been in the game, people still haven't realized that like Fracture flips the game on its head, and like because you're on defense, but the pressure is actually on you because they can come from any point. And so like it actually is better that when you're on defense that you like are proactive with what you do. Like you almost play like you're on attack
Yep.
and you take space. And people don't get that, so like they just play they play defense like they're on any other map. Like just sit and wait, let them peek us, but that doesn't work because they'll just crunch on you from every side.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It
this
changes the way the game was played, and I like that about it.
yeah. I
Is it
do I do enjoy it when it's at its like best state, but it's never like that in Diamond and
no.
Ascendant, sadly.
No. All right, Haven.
I love Haven. Um hmm, how much do I love Haven?
Is it a big enough love to throw into the S tier?
Hmm. I don't think so, but I think I do like it more than Ascent. So I'm gonna say A. Better,
Oh,
better than Ascent.
high A tier. What's the
I
thought
love
process
Haven.
behind that?
I don't know. Like I can't think of anything bad about Haven. It's just everything about Haven feels clean. Um, I guess the only thing that annoys me is like when in our comp games, like teams play in a way where they just like 5-man rush sites, and because it's a 3-sided map, everyone's like more spread out. And so it feels like the whole game, their team has 5 players and they fight 2 players and they kill the 2 players, and then we come to retake and it's a 3v5. So it's like it feels like it's an impossible game for all of CT side. Um, that's the only time I get really pissed off about Haven.
Yeah.
But honestly, I love it because I like lurking a lot. I play lurky agents, and Haven's really good for lurks. I play Sova. I love Sova on Haven. It's a fun map
Sova's
for me.
not a lurky agent, but Popey lurks on anything. So
No, Sova, I don't lurk on Sova a lot, actually. I was thinking Omen Cypher. I play a lot of Omen Cypher, but maybe I lurk Sova every once in a while.
every once in a while, I'm gonna put Haven below Ascent. To your point, a site. So with a 3 bomb site map, it's already harder on the defenders to cover. And then you make a site on Haven the hardest site to retake in the game. Why? Like, why did you feel the need to make it even more T-sided than it already is? I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. Besides that, I think the map is great. They didn't overcomplicate it. Lots of long, narrow sight lines that are super valuable to fight for. You can get an op and play. You actually can have some good comp variation on Haven. Like there are some creative ways to play it. The South Korean teams, DRX, really freaking good at playing Haven, and they play a lot of different things. You can play a Breach here. You could play a Phoenix. You could play a Jet, a Raze, a Neon. Like you can play so many different things on this map.
Yeah.
There's not one controller. There's not one
Some
initiator.
people love Viper, some people play Astra, some people play Omen.
Yeah, you can play so many different agents on this map. So I think it is solid, but I think it is too far imbalanced, favoring T side over CT to put it into the S tier. And I think Ascent is just a little bit more balanced than Haven.
B side is the easiest. B site is the easiest site to retake
Retaking the game.
and take. It's just always the easiest site to take from both sides.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
All right. Icebox just went out of the rotation. I know a personal favorite for both of us a little bit, but
I used to like it way more, but I got so annoyed of playing so much Viper because I felt like we were getting Icebox all the time.
yeah,
And
we
so
were.
I was just playing like so much Viper, and Viper was getting so boring. So I just started getting pissed off Icebox. But I do like Icebox.
Yeah.
It's just like there's so many like interesting things, and it's unique. Obviously, it's like the only ice map. I know that's just like something that has nothing to do with like almost like the actual mechanics of the map, but
Uh-huh.
just being unique in that way, it's refreshing to see the white snow when you've been seeing nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
But also like the elevation change, you have like the nest, you have the ropes, you have going up pipe, you have kitchen. It's just like it's an interesting map. It's cool.
Yep.
So for that reason, I'm gonna put it a behind Ascent.
Gotcha. I'm gonna put it above Ascent. Now, used to, I would have had it B tier. at best. Then the changes came out, and that helped a little bit. On B site, the yellow changes were good. The site changes and cutting out that little spot under site to plant, liked all of that. Thought those changes were good. Then Harbor came into the mix. And whenever Harbor came into the mix, teams started experimenting again. And whenever
DRX
teams
absolutely
started
obliterated
experimenting
C9.
again, comp diversity just exploded on Icebox.
Yeah.
And what was probably one of the most boring standard maps, Viper, Killjoy, Sova, Jet, and then KO
Sage.
or
Every team has Sage with that wall.
Sage, yes. And you would switch the KO and Jet out, probably. That was like what everyone ran. Now you have teams running Harbor. You have teams running Omen, Sky. Like the comp diversity just popped off and went through the roof. And now it's a creative map again. And now teams are trying new things. It has the flexibility to pivot quickly. It's still a really big map. So good plays punish the defense if they rotate too hard one way or the other because it takes a long time to run from site to site. But I think there's just a lot of variability. The reason that it's not S tier is for both sites, 90% of the time you attack through A main and B main. It's similar to Breeze in that aspect, as you go either one of the mains. But there's the sites are so much more complex with the rope and the elevation change, like you mentioned. It's a much better site map. You have to play it a little bit differently. It's a slow burn progression through site instead of just something super fast, super set execy. I think it's a really, really good map. Let's jump to our newest map of Lotus.
I don't think I like Lotus, dude. Just put it. I mean, there's got to be an F, right? So just put it in F for me. It's got to be my lowest. I don't like Lotus. So annoying.
Why?
I don't know. It just. I feel like. I mean, I can only really speak to like my comp experience because I haven't seen too many like standout pro games. My comp experience is like everyone just gives up on even trying to think about like how can we play this map well. And because of that, I swear every time I play Lotus, it's like triple duelist, quadruple duelist, quintuple duelist, every single time. And people just give up and it's like, I don't know, like I've had the worst games and the worst experiences on Lotus, and it's another 3-site map, so the same thing that happens on Haven happens where like the attacking team, when I'm on defense, they just bombard the one site. They kill the 2 that can get there, and then they kill the 3 of us that come in. So yeah, it's like Haven's ugly stepsister to me. Like so annoying.
Well, you're gonna love that my thought process coming into this is Lotus is gonna be my S tier map.
That's fine. Hey, free country.
Here's my thought. Here's my thought. I think everything that Haven does good, Lotus does good. I think it accomplishes all the things on having a 3-site map that spreads people out. It's not just super easy to gamble stack a site. Anchor rotates kind of matter. But where I think it improves upon is you can play all the sites very differently. If you want to play a site, you can sit back and hold site on defense, or you can push up to rebel. On B site, you can let them take it and play retake. You can pinch through the door on C. You can pinch through the breakable door on A, or you can try and hold it. On C, if you're attacking, you can push through site, maybe try and push out CT or push through waterfall, or you can sit back and play mound and play post plant for mound. I think Lotus encourages the defensive side to come forward, similar to how we were complimenting Fracture, right? On Fracture, the defense is incentivized to step forward and to move to limit the amount of space the attackers have. The attack side has to come through some choke points. And where Haven definitely favors the T side, the attacking side, CT side has the ability to step forward and take ground and make life really tough for the attacking side. So I think Lotus really capitalizes on what Haven missed out on. You're still punished if you rotate poorly, but not as bad because you have doors to cut through the middle. You have different switch ups that you can call as an attacking side. If you realize that they're hard stack C, you can quick rotate to B, B to A to B. You have all those like kind of last second options, but the both attacking and defensive side are incentivized to go forward. And I really like that complexity about the map. I think the doors are good. I didn't like them at first, but I think they're a good gimmick, a good key feature of the map. I think the comp diversity on it is good. Now it's new, so teams haven't like figured out one way to play it, but they're trying new stuff and multiple different ideas have been working. I think it's a really good map. I think it was a really good addition. And it's probably going to be with us the longest. So getting to the point where you can learn it and understand the map and how to play it is a very good thing. Now, to your point about playing it in comp, it sucks playing in comp.
Again, sucks.
People have no clue how to play it, but the map itself provides for a lot of different ways to play it, to play Valorant, the comps to run, the ideas you can have. It's a very blank canvas for someone to come in and get creative. That was a pretty good little spiel, wasn't it?
I sort of agree with what you say, but my comp experience makes it enough.
I think my win percentage is pretty freaking low on Lotus.
I was literally gonna say, like, can we look at your win percentage on Lotus? Because it's gotta be horrible. Because every time me and you play on Lotus, we lose, dude.
Yeah, you can pull it up. You can pull it up on tracker while I go and place Pearl. So with Pearl, this would be one of my top maps. Just because I think it's super solid, but I can't be too complimentary of all the maps in this game. So I'm gonna put it in B tier, right below Fracture. Not because it's a bad map, but because I'm not in love with B main, B open desert field with a pillar in the middle of it. That's not the most fun to me. U-Hauls is a priority, all that stuff. That's not very fun to me. And then you can just basically every team is going to have one person lurk late through mid. The post plants always feel the same on both sites. It's not bad. It's creative. The mid part is complex and you can get crazy with it, but people never really utilize mid as much as they should. It's a B tier. It's a B tier map for me. Now I saw you give a big face whenever I'm assuming you pulled up the stat. So what's the damage?
Your Lotus isn't that bad. Your Pearl is horrible.
My
though.
Pearl
Your
is horrible.
Pearl is 37.5%. But also, Lotus, you've played Harbor. You've played 20 maps of Lotus, and you've played 15 of those have been Harbor. 15 out of 20 Lotus maps have been Harbor.
Sounds about right.
And you have a good KD. It's one of your highest KDs on Lotus. But yeah, win rate on Pearl is horrendous. 37% across 58 games. That is horrible. Like that is. I mean, I'm not even saying that it's just you, because like that's got to be mine too.
And that's a lot of Astra.
Yeah, but your Astra percentages really isn't that high. Like it's only 33%. I don't know how this math works. Oh, this is win rate for the agent.
Oof.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Your win rate with Astron Pearl is 33%.
All right, I'll stop playing Astron Pearl.
But your best win rate map is Split, so
Yeah, I
go
I,
Split.
I knew that one was sitting closer to the top. I knew where that one was getting placed.
Okay, sorry, that's distraction.
You're good. Where would you put Pearl?
I like Pearl somewhat. Another one that's quite annoying because people still haven't figured out how to play it, and because of that, people still and when I like my major experience of this game is in comp, so that's how I'm basing a lot of this.
Which is fair.
Um, and I don't think there's been like these standout games of like pro games where I think of like, wow, that was an amazing Pearl game. I can think of that for other maps. But I think that the whole the B site of like having a long, massive, I don't even know what to call that.
Highway, 4-lane divided highway.
Yeah, exactly, like straight up highway. Um, yeah, it just that's kind of messed up to me. I don't like I don't like how mid works. The like really tight door is like really annoying. It's like just directly copying something from CS:GO. Um, yeah, but I still think that I probably like Pearl. I mean, I definitely like Pearl more than Lotus,
Okay.
but do I like it more than Fracture? No, I definitely don't. Below Fracture.
Low C tier. Awesome. So we have 2 maps left because I'm not going to put the range on there. And
Chill. Range is my S tier.
you don't have it. You don't have an S tier, and I don't have a C tier.
Range is my S tier. I have one thing to say about the range, but I'll hold it until we get there.
Okay. Split.
I like Split a lot. Much. You go first on this one.
Well, I know Split is my highest win rate map. So that does factor into it a little bit for me. But I think Split is going to go to the top of my B tier because it's very technical. There are a couple different ways that you can play it as far as comp goes, but you're still accomplishing the same thing. Establish some sort of mid control. Whenever you're execing on B, I think it is. I always get flipped up on which side's which. Whenever you're execing on B, you just try to get to pillar and then
That's
you
B.
fight from pillar. On A, you should go ramp, but people don't go ramp as much as they should whenever they're execing. It's very much the same, even though comp might be different. Some strategies might
Yeah,
be
I agree.
different. Like mid is number one priority, and then after you establish that, you kind of just rely on a good IGL to make a call. The mains are kind of choked off to where like defense can't really get too aggressive. It's kind of like wait for the attack to come to you, make them earn the space. It's not bad. I think the changes they made are decent. They don't affect it too much. I think it helps out the attackers on A get past that first little choke point a little bit. But it's a technical map. It's really good at a high level, but it's nothing crazy.
I'm gonna put mine B above Breeze. I like Split, but it is really basic, and it feels really repetitive. Every game feels like it's like very much the same, at least in our rank.
Yep.
I also just don't think it really plays to like the agents I like to play. I think what I was thinking about was like, I think lurking's a lot harder on Split because it's such a small map. Obviously I like playing Sova. Like you don't play solo on split. So yeah, I never really thought about that of like obviously I still lurk, but it's pretty hard
Yep.
because the chokes are so tight.
Yep.
It's pretty easy to just like get info on B and not be on B because the map's so small. So it's like really hard for me to just be a lurk. So yeah.
Yep. All right. So the newest, not new, but newest to the current map pool, Bind. Is Bind your S tier?
S tier, baby. Get
Ain't
him up there.
no way. Actually?
Yeah.
All right. Give me your dumb logic.
Get him up there.
Why?
2 letters.
Why?
TP. Nah. No, I do love the TPs though. I love Bind, and I was amazed that they took Bind out at first. I was like, what are they doing? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just Bind feels really fun to me. I love the TPs. I love the small map feel. It feels like a small map similar to Split, but it doesn't feel repetitive to me. I don't know why. Um, and in our rank at least, there's like a lot of agent diversity, so games feel really fun.
Yep.
And I like how pros play. I think Bind makes for really good games
Yeah.
because the TPs are really interesting. Because of how they play, like the way that like the main comp whenever Bind got taken out was always the double controller. It was Brim Viper. I think that provided for like a lot of really interesting maps because when you play no sentinel and you play double sentinel or sorry
Double
double
controller.
controller, the game feels a lot more fluid because there's not like stall. It's more like reactive
Yep.
utility usage. And those are my favorite games to watch. I think Bind has provided some of the most fun games to watch and sickest plays.
Yeah. For the sake of just making mine pretty, I'm gonna relocate Pearl to the C tier because I wasn't gonna put Bind C tier, and me personally need to have something there. I'm gonna put Bind above Haven into the A tier. I agree with you. The TPs are good. I actually think the TP changes that they made in this most recent patch are really good. It's gonna
Like
make
it.
the showers, the TP through the top of B long pinch play to
Way
showers
faster.
way faster. It's gonna
Really
help
good.
attackers get to site quicker. I think that's gonna be a really interesting side of the map that we're gonna get to see played. Agent diversity good, style differences good. But I think that for some reason you see like a lot more like mistakes on bind or stuff can get hectic, so then it's just kind of like scrappy. Like bind just feels like a scrappy map because you'll have raises that play like shotguns only, you'll have double satchel shotgun nades. It just feels, I don't know, not as clean as Ascent Icebox. Lotus doesn't feel as technical, even though I know it is. But it definitely feels more like if there was a Valorant map that was based on guerrilla warfare, Bind is that for me. So that's why I'm gonna give it A because it's a really good map, but I don't think I can go above the top 3. So I'll give you your little time to shine now to make your comment about the range, and then I'll go ahead and wrap us up.
Quick comment is Bind is your second lowest win rate map, so that's why you hate it.
Thank you for
And I just looked at my
fact checking me on all my win rates on all these maps.
win rates. Yo, my best win rate map is Fracture, and it's a pretty fat difference. It's lit.
That's funny.
My worst is Icebox. That's crazy. Okay. The range is lit. I love the range. My only thing is, I I love the little bots that you can use to like practice planting,
Oh yeah,
practice retaking. But why are they aimbots? Like, actually, they insta headshot you? Can they not, like, code, like, a better simulation of what a player's like? Like, can they make some sort like, I literally know they can because I know the capability of the software. It's not that hard to just make a dude that, like, he hits the headshot, like, once every 4 bullets. Like, why are they insta headshot and make them move a little bit, like, they just stay still and they just insta headshot me.
Yeah, you have to swing them.
Like, that would be so fun, and that would be, like, good
Good practice.
training. Yeah, it would be a good thing to practice. They're in the same spots every time too, like, I know what to check, and they're just stationary bots. Yeah. That's the only downside for me. If those were, like, better bots, I would literally be in the range all the time. I wouldn't deathmatch because, like, I could just practice my actually, I still would though,
Yeah.
but I love the range.
Yep.
Range is my, S tier above bind.
Awesome. Well, listen, let us know what you guys think about our map tier lists. I'm going to screenshot them, put them on Twitter, all that jazz. If you're not following us on Twitter, that's where you should definitely go check us out at Two Bots One Game. Also, make sure to follow us on YouTube, where you can see shorts of the podcast and also the full podcast there. You can find the podcast on Apple Music, Spotify. I think those are the only two platforms right now. If you want to catch up with all the stuff that we are doing with our organization, Disciples, follow us on Twitter at DisciplesGG. We're starting to host tournaments now that are open to any rank. So if you and a group of friends want to sign up for a tournament, come play. It's free to enter, $100, winner takes all. Would love to see you guys out there. As always, thank you again from Popey and I for all the support, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.